Reality can be beaten with enough imagination. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Anyone who can only think of one way to spell a word obviously lacks imagination. Now, ISNT imagination, a precious thing. IT peoples the earth with all manner of wonders. Experience, the only logic sure to convince a diseased imagination and restore IT to rugged health. Against a diseased imagination, demonstration goes for nothing. Well, no doubt it's a blessed thing to have an imagination that can always make you satisfied, no matter how you are fixed. Man, a figment of God's imagination. No child should be permitted to grow up without exercise for imagination. IT enriches life for him. IT makes things wonderful and beautiful. Imagination labors past in distant fields. Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without IT, we go nowhere. Imagination is the only weapon in the war against reality. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last, you create what you will. Imagination is everything. IT is the preview of life's coming attractions. Imagination should be used not to escape reality, but to create IT. The possible slow fuse is lit by the imagination. Imagination is the power of the mind over the possibilities of things. To invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. Imagination is a force that can actually manifest a reality. Imagination is like a muscle. I found out that the more I wrote, the bigger IT got. Imagination is a gift given to us from God, and each one of us uses it differently. The best way to predict the future is to create IT. Imagination is your vehicle from point A to point B in the universe. Imagination is the only key to the future. Without IT, none exist with IT. All things are possible. The imagination is the golden pathway to everywhere. Limitations live only in our minds. But if we use our imaginations, our possibilities become limitless. The world is but a canvas to our imagination. Imagination is not only the uniquely human capacity to envision that which is not, and therefore the fount of all invention and innovation, and it's arguably most transformative and revelatory capacity. IT is the power that enables us to empathize with humans whose experiences we have never shared. Imagination is a force that can bring even the most impossible ideas to life. Live out of your imagination, not your history. Imagination is everything you think of but cannot be seen. It's the world beyond the eyes. The power of imagination makes you as infinite. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Imagination is a virtual universe where everything is possible. It's the preview of life's coming attractions. Imagination is the voice of daring. If there is anything godlike about God, it is that he dared to imagine everything. The best use of imagination is creativity. The worst use of imagination is anxiety. Imagination is the spark that ignites the fire of creativity. Imagination is a powerful tool for creating a future that does not yet exist.